Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN Podcast. I'm joined by my cohorts as always. I'm, of course, Danny. You can follow me over there. Joined by my man, Chris. Chris, how you doing, dude? Oh, did I freeze or did he?
He did.
Doorgate. There he is. He's back.
God damn it. I froze instantly. I'm good. I'm good. Good debate. Lively in the end. I thought it was going to be boring at first. Ended up being all right. I mean, this stuff just serves for entertainment purposes, right? So I think it served its purpose. Yeah, good result at the weekend. So lot to discuss here.
Facts. Also joined by Steph. Oh, that's Sam's. Follow Sam, of course, as well. But also joined by Steph. Steph, how's it going, dude?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy I could make it today. So Sam couldn't make it, but I could. So there it is, a clean swap. So we're good to go. Let's do it. Let's talk about the debate and the game and the modalities. Let's do it.
Facts. Let's start off with the Twitter questions first. We don't have many today. Let me just quickly bring it up here. I think both are from our guy Rye at Rye1906. First question is also we'll go with this one. Irrelevant question, but I like this one. Start one, bench one, drop one. Matías Fernandes, Ismailov, and Vučković.
Prime for all of them.
What's for all of them? Start?
Prime. No, they're all in their prime.
Oh, yes. All in their prime. Of course. Steph, I'll start with you first, though.
Oh, my goodness. This is kind of difficult. Holy crap. I'm not ready for this.
Okay, Chris. Think about it, Steph. Chris, you take it.
All right, I guess.
I kind of think I have mine, too.
I think it might have to be start Ismailov, bench Fernandes, drop Vučković. Bias may be for Matías Fernandes' sporting career, but low-key, I feel like Ismailov had like a bigger career, low-key, internationally, etc. I don't know. He's a sleeper for me. He obviously became a traitor, so we all hate him. But
that's why I was gonna drop him only because of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Though I did love He's My Love. He was my love. But mine is I start Matías Fernandes, I bench Vučković, and I drop He's My Love. How about you, Steph?
Yeah,
this is a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question, and I'm inclined to go with your choices as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
Next question from our boy Rye. Shout out to Ryan. I'm assuming it's Ryan at least. Also, what are your thoughts on Pote CM? Instead of taking him off when we needed a goal for another winger, dropped him to midfield with Bragança or whoever. Looked really good there against Estoril. Steph, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, let's not forget that Pote at Famalicão, he did play midfield. So it's not an unknown position to him. And that's why he did so well. So don't be surprised if Amorim will try that again in the future. It was a very pleasant surprise, and the chemistry and connection with the strikers was instant. So I like what I saw. So let's do it again. Let's repeat it.
Agreed. I mean, I think it was also out of a necessity. So if we have Belinga and the others available, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with Pot being up top, but I don't mind Pot in the midfield.
But if we can put, okay, look at this. If you can put in the midfield, and now you have Slimani and Pauline together. Wow.
True.
You know, so I would like to test this theory, and let's see if we can against Maritimo. Why not?
Yeah.
When he first came, I low-key thought that was going to be like his primary position. And then he just in the way we play with just the three up top, he just kind of naturally became like a winger, but he was always ending up in the middle, obviously, often. So, yeah, I think it's natural for him, to be honest.
Yeah. You could see it against Estoril. He fit like a glove. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah. I didn't mind it either, yeah. Next question from our boy Juicebox Liao, who's in the chat. He asks, do you expect any other changes in the 11 besides Sarabia being out? Personally, I'd like to change it up a bit. I want Vinagre, but against Edwards and Slimani to start. And if we're winning, I want Stivs to get 20, 30 minutes. Surprised to see Vinagre there, but some big news coming out this week at least. But Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think, right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's maybe give him some minutes. But at the same time, Matthias Reis did just have a stormer down that left flank. How can you drop him after a performance like that? He's at the peak of his career. He wants to be called to Brazil in March. Gotta let him keep cooking.
Did he say that?
But yeah, he
kind
of hinted at it in like a recorded interview this week, Matthias Reis.
Interesting.
But they have kind of a few left backs. I mean, Alex Telles, etc. Like, I don't know, like, is Matthias Reis in better form? It'll be awesome if he gets called. I'll just leave it at that.
I would love that.
But yeah, I do want to see the other guys. This is something I did want to bring up. I think this was a fair time to bring it up because it was a question that someone had sent us like the day after the game. I forget who it was. Like in the game, you could like see Slimani's like visible anguish. Like he wanted to score so bad. It seemed like it's 2-0 and 3-0 late in the game against Estoril, and this dude's like kicking the post. He's so pissed off. Yeah. Did you guys make anything of that? Other than just he wants to score. It's simple. He's a goal scorer. He wants to score. Anything deeper to that?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with you there. He just wanted to score. Down 10 men, too. It's a game where he could have.
It was his best cameo so far in the shirt.
Sure. Agreed.
I'd like to see him get more minutes if possible. But at the same time, Paulinho's, I'm not going to bench him, but I just hope we get up like 2-0 by the 60th minute so he can get a little bit more than like, the 15, 20 minutes allotted time. But Maritimo was in decent-ish form, so not a tough place to go either. So I'm not gonna hold my breath, to be honest. It's kind of situational. And I definitely don't hope we're losing and chasing.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, man, fucking going to Maritimo was never a fucking easy task for Sporting, clearly. Let me bring up let's transition to the Estoril game. Starting lineup we had Adan in net as always, a 4.8, which is a shock. Anyways, Matheus Reis at left back, or left wing back, Fadal, Inácio Neto, Porro at right wing back, Matheus Nunes and Ugarte in the middle, with Pot, Paulinho, Sarabia up top. Suspensions to Balinha, Coach, Tabata, and I'm missing one more player, aren't I? And Isgaio. But Steph, take it away. What were your thoughts on this game?
Well, when we were playing 11 against 11, we're having a tough time because Estoril, they were playing with the low block. Like most teams play against Sporting, except if it's Porto Benfica or a bigger team like Manchester City. And then we're trying to use the wings to penetrate with crosses inside the box. And we finally did score, but we had a tough time. And I spoke to Chris about this offline. Once Estoril was reduced by one player, we dominated the game. We never gave Estoril a chance. Then with the second goal came along, the third goal came along. I was not freaking out at all. I was actually chilling, watching the game, drinking a glass of wine, and it was one of the most chill games I ever watched Sporting play. We dominated from start.
We had another chill game recently. Which one was it? Was it Vizela or something?
Yes.
That was chill. We've had 2 chill games. This was a very we've had a few chill games recently.
Yeah, and I never felt like Estoril was imposing any kind of danger. I always felt that we were under control, and I think it was the way of the players and the coaching staff to say thank you because of the negative result against MC, and when the fans supported the team for 4 minutes, clapping, standing up, even though we lost at home 5-0, and it was a nice gesture and a nice performance by the whole team. And we deserve to win the game, no doubts about that. And I'm not going to talk about the red card because I have a feeling you will talk about that. So I don't want to spoil it for you. But in a nutshell, We deserve to win 3-0. If it would have been 4 or 5-0, I wouldn't have been surprised. I would have loved to see Slimani score at least one goal, and Paulinho as well. But Pedro Pot scored. So that's all I have. And I know Danny by now. So you're gonna come up with some great questions. So I'll wait for your questions.
but first we'll pass it off to Chris though before we get into like the stocks.
Okay. So my notes: Pot back to scoring a goal. Hell yeah! Like it's definitely not one that you're gonna go back and rewatch over and over again. That's the Sarabia one, but it's good, to see the ball hit the back of the net.
But sorry, on that pot goal, I seen so many Benfiquistas like, oh, what is this match fixing, man? Butterfingers, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, boys, shut the
I've
fuck
scored
up.
like 3-4 goals for my Sunday league team, exactly like that. If you just chase it, like Sunday league goalies, they're not that good, man. They spill it like 30% of the time, bro. Just follow the shots, and you can get easy goals. Definitely happens less in professional, but hell yeah, chase them down, baby. They all count the same.
Exactly.
I kind of mentioned it earlier. Matheus Reis, bro, balling. Literally could have easily had a brace. Honestly, should have had a brace.
That chance was like 4-on. It was like 4-on-1 or 4-on-2 or something.
The goal that he scored was definitely from a tighter angle and went through the goalie's legs. That's definitely harder than the other chance. But hell yeah, Matheus Reis balling out of control. I thought Ugarte, another great game from him. I mean, thank God he's not like concussed or has any severe head injury because he got his shit rocked a little bit.
Matheus Reis, you could have scored then a second goal.
Yeah. I just mentioned that.
Yeah.
He'll pad the stats later on this, but he at least he got on the score sheet. Sarabia is also padding his stats like every game. G's and A's are really just reining in at this point. Another seamless Ugarte game, making the transition for Paulinho. We're all feeling a lot more comfortable about the almost guarantee that Paulinho will be sold this summer. We resisted it. He was irreplaceable, but it feels like he's more replaceable now. And the 30 million to Wolves is going to hurt a lot less, I guess, it seems like. But I don't think we should get too comfortable. I think that, and if there starts to become like a start Ugarte over Paulinho, I don't think that I can endorse anything like that just yet. But it is good to know that we have, in certain situations, they can maybe even play together, obviously. But for me, once Paulinho is back from his suspension, I'd like to see him return. And I also don't want to see him devalued right before we sell him either. In his biggest drop off is of his entire fucking like 2-3 year rise. Right before we sell him, not what we need. Another great Sarabia, and pretty good Pot game. The dirty backhill assist, I think, right? It's nice. It's beautiful. He's putting himself in good spots. He was dropping. He's gonna do that. He's gonna play like CAM almost at moments. That's just how he plays. I thought he, I don't think maybe he missed only one, like pretty clear chance in this game, but I don't think that anyone's gonna complain about this type. No, Paulinho.
Oh, Paulinho.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to complain about the Paulinho performance. If he does that every game, it should be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. My quick 2 cents. Agree with everything you boys have said. My only thing was it was nice, like you said earlier, like best Slimani performance. I think what also pissed Slimani off on that one thing right towards the end was this was a game where I seen Sporting like crossing the ball a lot. And I think maybe if Slimani gets in earlier, he maybe scores one of these headers, seeing as we don't have the aerial threat in Coates for this game. But yeah, all in all, a great performance.
That's another thing worth mentioning. Coates he wasn't there, and it didn't really feel like
make any difference. Yeah.
And which isn't Sorry, go, Steph.
No. You could have. The thing I have to emphasize is Ignacio was the boss of the defense.
Yeah, in the middle.
And he basically he did a nice job for a youngster. So I was very content with his performance, and it gives me a glimpse of what to expect in the future if Kovac retires, because he's not how old is he, Kovac? 30 something?
He's got 3 more years at
He's got a few, 31, I think.
Okay, good. But you know what's going to happen? He's going to start declining like Fidal, and then he'll play some games, and some games he'll play only 45 minutes. So,
I mean, imagine he turns into like he becomes like an attacking option where he's like a reserve center back / like he's actually coming on when we're losing, to just kind of play like D, but also just like sprint forward often.
It's like the opposite of like
he's an
normally
attacking center back.
Yeah, normally like cams, like Scholes, for example, or Rooney, like they'll come like from like a 10 position to like an 8 or even a 6, whereas Kovac will go from like the center back to like up top. He'll do just the reverse of that.
That's a possibility.
I mean, hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take Kovac at striker all day long, bro.
It's so awesome when he's roaming up the field and just chasing down every ball.
My favorite is when he randomly decides to go on a run and he'll get by 2-3 guys like easily.
Yeah.
And he's just like there. He passes it off to the wing, continues his run.
Every good center back that I've ever known personally, or like in that I've watched, has that in them. It's a good center back trait,
Exactly. Let's get into this question right here from James Reis, Matheus Reis' cousin. All of us, I'm assuming. What do we make of the argument between Amorim and Matheus Reis? Obviously, I think if I understood it correctly, Amorim kind of upset that Matheus Reis ended up getting a yellow right towards the end of right before getting subbed off because he went off on the wrong side. Mm-hmm. Steph, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with Amorim. That yellow card wasn't necessary because we were controlling the game.
Was it time-wasting yellow?
I guess.
Yeah. It was no need to waste.
Was he doing it intentionally, or did he just not? Did he forget?
Apparently, Amorim afterwards on the conference, he said that it was a mistake by Matheus Reis, but he basically said he should have been more careful and more conscientious. Yeah. And I agree with Amorim because we get yellow cards so easily, and you guys do know how much each yellow card is. It's 250 euro.
Oh, that's nothing for Sporting.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes sense. That makes sense. Think of Sunday League. Yellow doesn't cost you anything.
They never report that. They only ever report the fines for like fan engagement.
Red cards.
Oh no, and then red card I think is 500.
Club pay and fines like 10K.
Exactly. Now it gives you a different perspective, doesn't it? Why so many yellow cards are shown in the Portuguese league and red cards? Because that's the way Liga makes money. Yes. So
it's like cops and tickets. It's not officially, they tell them to give more tickets for revenue for the city or whatever. But
they might have a quota to hit. Interesting.
Yep.
I actually have never heard that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. These are the gems you only get from Steph.
How about you though, Chris? What do you make of the little argument towards the end?
Yeah, I mean, I support our fearless leader and coach. Give it to him, bro. It's a stupid yellow. Yell at him.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so important in our team now. He's doing amazing things. So I want him to play. I think we have 11 games left.
Yeah. Which is scary to think. It's like seems really low.
Yeah.
And you need 2 of them to be an L, so it's like.
If you count us at Portugal, then it's 13. If we reach the final, it's 14. Yeah. So.
We might have 3 more Champions League games if we turn this around. Another 2,
maybe. Well, if we're lucky. I'll get to that later on. Let's talk about the big controversial point. The red card on João Silva, former Braga player, dirty fuck. You look at him and he looks like a dirty player. Clear red, right, guys? There's no debating it.
Yeah. I'll go first. No debating. I mean, and it's not because of the picture we saw about Pedro Porro's leg later. You could see that he had he fully, intentionally, maliciously, he did it purposely. Because when he kicked the ball, he could have gone with his foot the other way, not to touch Porro, but he purposely lowered his foot and he scraped his entire leg. And to me, that was a good red card, good call by the VAR, and it's about time on Sporting games. Good red card. No doubts in my mind. I mean, you could see his face, his facial expressions, that he was kind of enjoying it. And to me, it's like he should never play in the Portuguese league ever again.
Sportingista, bro. Former
Sporting
legend.
Raul Silva.
Oh no! Fuck! It's not.
No.
He
played the Braga. No.
Yeah.
Raul Silva was a center back for Braga.
You're right. You're right. João Zinho was a meter nojo as well. To be honest, but the stud was Raul Silva, who is top 10 in the Portuguese league history in red cards now. So,
Raul Silva is a loan from Braga to Estoril. He's on a loan. So,
it sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck. From his perspective, he would argue like, "Oh, I just kicked the ball and I didn't know." But he leaves his leg in there and he gets it real good. By the way, 3 different occasions in this game, Porro's done for the season. Fuck, this is it. Finally, he's done. He looks really hurt. He's done. Okay, he's okay. Again. Oh fuck, for real. Porro's done, dude. And then on this one, I was like, the way he's rolling around, dude, I thought he like tore his calf or something.
Or ACL, yeah.
He's done.
That's what I thought.
There's no way he is not done. He's like kind of hurt already, and now he's rolling around like this. And
but did you see the stretch? Did you see the stretch? Yeah,
that's why. But like that, like a contusion is better than any like ligament thing.
That was like 7 inches long. Yeah, you could see that Raul Silva enjoyed it, every second of it.
The dirty fuck, like I said.
Yeah, really, it was a good red card. Really good red card.
Agreed. I can't see the complaints.
I think it's
honestly.
a red also. It's and it's stupid because he ruined the game for his team and any slight chance that they would have had after.
He was on the pitch for 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and then he's just fuck that guy. He's trash, bro. He's washed. Retire or go back to Brazil, dude. You're done.
Yeah,
Estoril too good to be employing him.
Yeah.
I kind of want to touch on Pot. I want to see what you guys thought about his performance to this game, because honestly, another Pot for me at least, another frustrating Pot performance. I know he got the goal, but aside from the goal, I can't tell you much of what he did. Even him in midfield, it was at a point that that Sporting was kind of in control, so it wasn't like we really relied on him. And if I'm not mistaken, Ugarte came out and we were already up 2-0. My main question is next game. I mean, we have Sarabia out, so it's very unlikely that we'll take out Pot. I understand that. But do you think at least eventually Pot needs some time on the bench to maybe get his shit together, or it's just some bad form right now and he'll turn it around? Chris, I'll start with you on that one. I know Goal Point gave him a 7.3, so it's tough on me to even say that. But I mean, in my perspective, if he doesn't get that goal,
it's largely aided by the goal.
Yeah,
it's like a 6-1 without the goal. Which is still decent. It's above average for him recently, at least. But yeah, it's still frustrating. But like we talked about earlier, he did get some burn at center mid. That it was interesting. I'd maybe like to see more. Maybe that's what he needs more of. But with Sarabia suspended, the game for him to sit is obviously not most likely going to be this upcoming one, because maybe if we're lucky we'll get Edwards, right? But I think you just got to keep rolling with him and hope that he builds off this performance at least, right? Because hopefully this is moving in a better direction than his previous 3.
Facts. Same with you, Steph?
Yeah, so I don't think we should do it as a punishment. I think we should we haven't had a whole week for a while. So now this week we had the whole week to practice. So, and that's good for Ruben Amorim when he has a lot more time to talk and to the players and test different tactics. So I think we needed that. With that said, if I'm Ruben Amorim, I want to give a chance to somebody else, and I would talk to Port and I would tell him in advance. Listen, you've been off a little bit. It's so I'm going to give this player, let's say Edwards, a chance. But I don't think Edwards is ready yet because it takes time to get to know your team, your teammates. It takes time to know the dynamics of the team. Like every player that we've gotten, like Mateus Reis, it took time for him to go into the team and so on. But I wouldn't be surprised if he benches him one day because he is not performing as good as he was last year. And it's not even about the goals. It's about how many passes he's missing. He's not connecting with the midfield as good as last year as well. And that's kind of disappointing to me. So if somebody else stepped into the pitch that's motivated in practice every day, and Ruben Amorim sees that, I think he might give that person a chance. And if it's Edwards, it's Edwards. If it's Nunes, it's Nunes. If it's let's put Slimani and Paulinho together, let's give it a shot, and he benches him, I wouldn't be surprised. So, am I slightly disappointed with Pedro Gonçalves? I am. And it's not so much about the goals he's missing. It's more about the passes he's missing and put the team in constant danger in counterattack. Because when we don't hold the ball up front, then we're constantly suffering the consequences of the counterattacks from the other team.
Agreed. And that's the most frustrating thing with me too is even his jogadas are a little. I'm recalling the one play in Man City where I don't know if it was 0-0 or 1-0 at the time, but he's kind of through and he's just stumbling on the ball, and I think it's Ruben Diaz or something. They end up coming back.
Yeah, he should have just went for it. It's bro, we might not ever fucking get down here again for 35 minutes. Just rip it,
Yeah, facts. So that was the only annoying thing there. But agreed. I can't really make much else of this game in terms of questions. So unless there's anything left to say, let's go with man of the match. I think I know what you two might go for. So let me just start. And I'm giving mine to my boy. I think I've given him about 6 man of the matches so far this season, but none more deserving than this. Came out this week that his nickname is Ronaldinho. Over the weekend, I was saying he's what Roberto Carlos wants to be or wishes he was. I'm giving it to Mateus Reis. He was dominant performance, and it just helps out my my argument that he's better at left wing back than he is at left center back.
I don't think anyone can make that argument anymore that he's better at center back. You can still make the argument that he's better than others on the team. He's better than Neto. He's better than Esgaio.
You might see him,
Pedal. You can maybe make those arguments, but he's the best left wing back on the team.
Easily.
Facts.
Yep.
How about you, Chris?
The GOAT race.
The GOAT. Is it 3 for 3 stuff?
No. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Inacio just because he had some big shoes to fill. Yeah. Like Chris said offline as well. I mean, we spoke a lot offline. Inacio, we didn't even notice Kouac wasn't on the pitch, and to me, that it speaks volumes about Inacio's quality of leadership and performance-wise.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. I like that shout. Special mention to Sarabia, of course. Some good man of the matches there. Biggest news, and then I'll pass it back off to you, Chris. But I think the biggest news that we all want to talk about is Vinag actually is officially a Sporting purchase.
I was not so pissed. I was pissed. I was pissed that they were not transparent. Obviously, this is a theme we'll talk about later. Was it 20 games? Is it 25 games? Why are they shielding him? Is he really hurt? Why is he missing? All of that for the truth to be the whole time. In December, we all could have, or like I think in December after the Dortmund game, right? Right at the buzzer, after the whistle of the Dortmund game was when we knew, but we didn't find out until like a couple of days ago, which is just pisses me off. And yeah, it's fucked up. It's a super inflated value. It's 50%. It's a George Men's kickback. It's everything, you know.
To me, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're going on about Matheus Reis, and of course, part of it is like somewhat kidding. Like, you know, it comes at a point where, like, with Matheus Reis, that we didn't expect it. So anything he does right now is just it's hilarious because of how good he's playing. But the fact
we were all content if he just became a solid starter that wasn't like a liability.
We would be all content if Matheus Reis was a solid bench player coming off the bench. Like we can depend on, because, you know, I know a lot of people give Isgayu shit, but if Matheus Reis was like an Isgayu, only maybe a bit more reliable, I think we'd love the guy the same, right? But the fact that he's now our best left wing back by far, there's no competing against him, and we still purchased Vinagre, who hasn't been the same.
Could still develop maybe into a decent prospect. He was a decent prospect. I guess he still is. But yeah, it just like, if we had the choice, you would never say yes to this. You know, you would never say yeah, right?
At the end of the day, though, at the same time, like, okay, he can be a prospect. He's like, what, 23, 24? 10 million for 50%? 10 million, what? Because he comes from an English club? Like, English clubs are supposed to be paying inflated prices, not the other way around, man. It's a little crazy. Steph, what are your thoughts?
I'm pretty upset too, not because of Vinagre, the player, because I like him too, and I think in the long run, he's going to be with us for 5 years. We have no choice.
He's not going anywhere.
No. So I think he will be a valuable key player in the future. But the only thing that upsets me, and this came out on the debate today on the Sporting TV, and Nuno Souza brought it up to Varandas. It's a bad piece of business, and we're not talking about the same thing as when we bought Ruben Amorim for 10 million from Braga. Because now we know that we could get 30 million. That's his rescinding clause. It's 30 million, by the way.
He also showed at Braga in his like 10 games that he had the potential to be.
Yeah, he won a trophy.
He already showed that he won titles. He won trophies.
Yeah,
Vinagre was basically just a good prospect. He was coming off a decent year.
Exactly. And then what Nuno Souza put Varandas against the wall. And then it was funny because Varandas, he didn't know what to say. And he went back to, I won 6 titles in the football because he didn't know how to respond. But the thing is, in transfer market, the value for Vinagre is 5 million in the transfer market. You could Google it.
The fact that transfer market was in the debates, the transfer market debate part was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's my website, baby.
And anybody could go and Google it. It's not me telling you. You could see yourself. And we paid 10 million, like you and Chris said, for 50% of his pass. For 50% of it, we paid 10 million. So it means this guy it's worth it 20 million? No way, Jose.
Yeah.
So
that's his value, mate.
Yeah, that was a really big piece of shit business. Really bad.
Vinegar.
Yeah.
Calling him vinegar is hilarious.
Vinegar, yeah. You could. But I still believe in Vinagre. I do. The player, I think we should support him as Portuguese, but I'm not going to support to whoever made the decision, if it was Varandas or Hugo Viana. It was a bad.
No, I understand. So what Paul says here, he was an Amorim decision. Like, Yeah, Emery saw him play at Famalicão. He's like, that's a good prospect. I'd like to have.
But Amorim wasn't on the table.
The secondary part, the negotiation aspect.
Exactly. Amorim wasn't part of the negotiation.
That was all them. That was all the front office, you know.
The thing is, you put Sporting against the back wall because now every club knows. Oh, we can easily, negotiate with Sporting with our terms, saying we're going to sell you 50% of this pass for this amount, and it's inflation. And now the clubs know that we're willing to negotiate for 25% or 50% of the pass or 75% of the pass, and they exaggerating how much the value of the player is, and that's not good. Because one day when we sell Pedro Porto or Vinagre, are we going to see that money back?
Another thing that's also pissing me off about this is we still haven't signed Pedro Porro, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 8.5 million for 100% or damn near 100%.
It's obvious why not. We're waiting for the money from Nunes. We don't have any money, so we just
signed Nunes' replacement. We can't sign Porro. That doesn't make any sense to me.
But we didn't pay anything for
we didn't pay it. We just have to pay it. It's just added to the to-pay list. We didn't pay
exactly. Installment payments. Exactly. So I think
accounts payable.
We're going to start paying after the summer or something.
Yeah.
Makes sense then. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's we hit the nail perfectly on the head. Chris, take it away on loose ends, and I mean, really, like, let's the debate part, but anything in between that, I guess, before that.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing this week, other than the debate we're about to get into, was Rafael Leão. TAD ruled that, or Leão appealed that he didn't have to pay, and that Lille had to pay, and then so TAD agreed with that decision now. So now Lille has to pay the 20 million, which I guess from our end, we have to feel like is a decent decision. For us, I feel like it increases our likelihood of getting the money, but now it's just going to go to a sequence of appeals from Lille now appealing this new decision. So we're not any closer to getting the money, like hitting the bank account, but the process is, I guess, moving favorably in our direction. I hope that Lille doesn't win the appeal, because then the whole thing is just going to get fucked again, and then we're going to try to go back to Leão and try to get it from him, and it's just going to, but
a snowball effect.
We're moving in the right direction. We need like one or two more decisions, I think, to go our way, and then we'll be Gucci. But that could take like another year at least, easily.
I agree.
At the same time that the money goes up, as it takes longer, it'll become 22 mil, 23 mil, because it started at 16, and it's been like, 4 years? It's been like 4 or 5 years almost now. So the longer it gets, the interest rate just goes up, I guess.
Hey, Juicebox Leali, he brought up a good point. Let Manchester City pay salary. So, yeah, that's a good point.
He's about to get a salary raise to 4 million euros. But the rumor was AC Milan was waiting to see what the court's decision was to offer him that new contract.
I think he was talking about Pedro Porro.
Yeah. Now Chris is talking about. There we go. You're back.
You're back again.
Okay. I see that I have one bar, so I'm just giving it a second to see if I go away again. Fuck.
But what were you saying about? I think Leal is talking about Pedro Porro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Man City's keep paying his salary. I see what they're saying.
That's
we have until June 30th. It's until June 30th, I think. So they're not fronting anyone money ahead of schedule, right? That's not something that's occurring here. So
the only thing I mentioned that about the Porto one is, like, you see how integral he is to our team, and we've been flirting with the idea of us buying Pedro Porto for can't even say months anymore, for at least a year. Fair, he's bought. I remember the fucking tweets with the hourglass.
Married Demerald. He's married Demerald at the worst, where he's bought and then immediately flipped. But I don't even know if that's gonna happen anymore. He keeps getting hurt,
Yeah, that's true. But that's all I was saying, where we won't buy a guy who's so crucial to our team but we'll buy Vinag, who hasn't played since Ajax. But anyways, that's the last point. The Rafael Leão. I don't know if you were saying anything else about that, Chris.
Yeah. I was just saying AC Milan was waiting to see the result of this court hearing to offer him his new $4 million a year salary, because if
Why?
court had ruled against him and he had just signed the fat new salary right before, then it would have been bad for him, and Sporting would have been like, okay, give us all your money, which sucks for him, but he's definitely hyped off the court's decision. I think it's good for Sporting. Let's see what happens now. Leave it at that.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. It's good for Sporting because it's a club now. In a club, when they owe so much money to another club, they can be penalized by the UEFA and so on. So it's better, much better.
Yeah, agreed. I honestly think AC Milan should still give him the $4 million, whether he's making that or not. Sporting's after their money, so pay up, boy. Anyways, Chris, take it away. The butts.
Okay. So I guess just like general overview. Just like we'll get into specific topics and we'll debate them ourselves, I guess. But just my general view was that Varandas was a typical Varandas performance. He typically doesn't do himself too many favors when he goes in front of a camera like this.
Nope.
He did make a point that he was like at certain points he was like a 2-on-1, which like I mean, I guess you're the incumbent, bro. Like you don't really take that many questions. You don't really make it a point to be like open to people about what's going on always. So you have to sit for one time for 2 hours, bro. Like I don't feel bad for you. Yeah, and so it was just I don't think he helped himself overall. I don't think he hurt himself. Anyone that was sold on, his program, I don't think they changed their mind. He stuck to his guns. He had some talking points. He got cornered a few times. But, overall, if anything, he maybe hurt himself slightly, but I don't think it's going to make too much a difference to him. I thought Nunes.
Gotta
damn it.
Gotta get Chris a new Comcast.
God damn it, bro! How much of that was lost?
You lost.
Not the whole thing.
You left off at basically like for those sold off on Varandas.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
He slightly hurt himself. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, he slightly hurt himself, but probably not enough to make a difference, right? So it was a slow start, I thought, but definitely peaked as the night went on, got more confident as he started to get some of his lines in. And the debate towards the end, like we're doing 40 minutes about a topic, and then we're getting to the end and it's like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. We're jumping from topic to topic. Not planned out well at all.
No.
But at the same time, I liked like 40 minutes to talk about financials because I think that's fucking important. But it's also dry, it's boring. People are tossing accusations at one another. But it's healthy. It's healthy. It needed to happen. This needed to occur.
It was Sporting. It was Sporting TV. So I don't think the time should have mattered. Like he could have gone as long as you wanted because it was Sporting TV.
Yeah, why were they such in a hurry? Like,
it's how it's on.
You just keep going all night. What's on after this? A replay?
What's the big deal? Yeah,
yeah.
Because it's getting late. I mean, a lot of Portuguese.
They definitely did go over time, but like
keep going. I was loving the debate between Nunes and Varandas.
Varandas definitely didn't want to keep going. So yeah, it's not in his best interest probably to keep going either.
Not only that, it was past his bedtime.
Yeah, it was getting late, I guess. But yeah, I thought that too. They're like, we only have a few more minutes. I'm like, why though? Like what? Like what's on after this? Something.
I feel me personally. I felt that Nunes he had some valid points. Oliveira, he was just on the way. I mean, if he was there or not, it would have been the same thing.
He came out really strong in the first. I missed like the first 15 minutes, so I missed Varandas like
introduction.
Food. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah. What is he? Is he like stealing the internet from his parents or something?
No, I think it's his neighbors.
God damn it! I think I'm
Yeah.
back now.
Yeah, you're back.
You're back, you're back.
I just missed the Veranda's introduction. But yeah, Oliveira I thought had like a good beginning. He had like a really good like second monologue, but then he tapered off massively. And whatchamacallit, when he got cornered about like who's the secret investor that you have that's gonna bring in $100 million, he like didn't even have an answer, bro. It's like how you knew someone was gonna say something to you about that and you didn't prepare an answer. Idiotic. You looked like an idiot after that. He looked like a complete idiot. It just canceled out like the 20 good minutes that he just had, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think what saved Verandas from not losing these elections was winning the championship last year and the Taça da Liga. And his administration did a decent job with a number of things like the modalities. We won a bunch of international trophies. I think a total of 12 or 13. And also I was very impressed with the quality of the sporting communication. They have improved a lot with the backstage, with the ADN Sporting. That's where we got really, really good. The things I wanted to see being debated, it was the finances of the club, and nobody likes to talk about that because it's not a popular topic. But we still owe 95 million to our suppliers and stuff like that. That's a lot of money. What are we doing about that? You know.
Here's the thing for me that honestly very much pissed me off when they were talking about the VMOX.
The stock market as well. Yeah. Just
the repurchasing of the debt that's owned by the banks. That's coming to a conclusion in 2026. Like Veranda's made it seem like we're doing it. We're on our way. We're about to do it. It's almost done. Actually, he said it's almost done. Like, bro, no, it's not. You just are saying that to take the heat off of you in this in-person debate, but that's not true because he said the same thing in 2018, the exact same thing. It's not new news. The price that they have, it's been the same. And the thing is, for me, if he had a plan to repurchase them, that would be his entire campaign, and he would be actively talking about it. He would be bragging about his plan because he would be the man that was saving the SAD and saving the club. And he'd be like, it's almost done. Vote for me, and this club is saved. I already did all this, and now we're about to save it. He doesn't do that because also like the entire like a large part of the Nuno Souza campaign and Oliveira campaign is about this. So they would not be able to talk about this issue if you had a finalized plan that you were bragging about, or it would come off a lot worse. So like, I think he was just bullshitting there. I don't think he has any plan that we don't know about. At least he's not further along than he was 3 years ago.
I mean, I think it would have been better off saying, "Listen, I'm not an expert in finances, but my so and so is, and they're working on that. And as soon as I have an update, I'll let you guys know." Because
that's not good enough. That's not a good enough answer either.
I know, Chris. I understand, but finances is complicated as it is. And I would just tell the Sportinguises, I promise you that I don't think it's Zanya anymore, that he will talk about it soon, and then to explain what's going on. Because like he said, we should have known about Vinagre's deal after we qualified against Dortmund. I don't like when he's hiding things from Sportinguistas, because who owns the club? It's Socios de Sporting. Okay? So he's supposed to be upfront with us, and I didn't like that about Verandas. Like, why are you hiding stuff from us?
The part at the end where he's talking about expanding the voting and nucleus and the I voting, I like couldn't even take him serious. It's like, bro, you said all this in 2018 and then just proceeded to not even take one active step to make this happen. Like, how am I supposed to just take you seriously? Just you're mentioning it in passing one time in this debate, like.
Don't get me wrong. I mean,
he
made some good things happen. Like he invested $2 million in academy. He replaced all the pitches. He renewed all the academy. It's something that you have to give him credit for. The chow hall, the cafeteria was renewed, indoors, everything. You have to give him credit for that. Now it's called Academy Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a big step as well. But the thing I don't like,
green chairs too.
The green chairs as well, the Nike deal as well. But why not the naming of the stadium? Why not the name of the pavilion? The Portuguese in Portugal, they have to stop being so traditional, because we could be making money if Pavilion João Rocha also was called Pavilion MetLife. If MetLife was to pay us 10 million, why not? And the stadium, I don't get it. We need money, and we being traditional. Não, isso não pode acontecer. Tem que ser o Pavilhão João Rocha. But why?
Yeah.
If a company like MetLife, example, wants to give us $10 million to have their name displayed as saying o Pavilhão MetLife, what's the big deal? It's not like Sporting is making a lot of money, and we need money, so let's be creative.
Any new revenue stream is welcome.
Yeah. And that's what and I don't think that's Varanda's fault. I think it's more the Portuguese culture, like accepting new avenues. It's like, isso não pode acontecer. Alguma vez pensar o pavilhão já avalado agora vai ser mudar para MetLife.
Yeah.
But
for example, in my eyes, or I'll ask you guys, where do the Lakers play? And if somebody says crypto, I will fly out.
Crypto.com.
I will fly out to Philadelphia and punch the fuck out of you guys. The Lakers play at Staples Center. Whether it's fucking crypto.com center right now or not, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Or for the Torontonians, at least, that might watch this, But to me, the Jays play at the fucking Sky Dome, bro. They don't play at the Rogers or the Scotia Bank Arena now.
Exactly. But they paying that money to have their name. But every fan knows it's the Staple Arena. No one is calling it crypto. And it would have been the same thing in Portugal. It would have been the same thing. But because of the sausage of Sporting, some tão tradicionais, and I'm speaking to like this in Portuguese, because it really upsets me. Like, fuck, we need the money. So let's not be picky about things like that, Anyway, and then this...
All right, I'm going to go to the next topic.
Hold on. Let me just, because I was quickly reading like the synopsis on Ebola. I haven't watched the debate yet. I'm going to try to find it on YouTube, and I'll post it out on the page. I'll bring it on the screen real quick. One thing that I liked that I think we all mentioned, but that Nuno Souza actually did mention, and I'll read it in my broken Portuguese. But he says here, temos de encher o estado, blá, 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 blá. Não vamos estar à espera de 2026, é preciso resolver o mais rápido possível. O que nós vemos é que o Sporting está em cumprimento e pode vir John Textor e comprar. Meaning, we continue the way we're going, spending the way we are, and not managing finances perfectly.
Yeah.
The way we joke about our rivals and the John Textor and blah, blah, blah is the same road we're heading. So... I'm with you guys. That's my thing. And my only critique on this whole election season, this is the only debate, right?
Yeah.
The lack of the election.
Altogether, yes.
This is the only debate. And elections is when? March
5th.
March 5th.
Yes.
So I'm not voting.
It's like 9 days from now.
Yeah.
I'm not voting. I have yet to get my ballot. Have you guys got your ballot?
Unless it comes like in the next day and we do like expedited shipping, which I would do if it comes in the next couple days.
I want a refund on my fucking saucy payments on my quotas.
We can get we'll get to that, I guess.
I mean, it's obvious that Frederic Varandas will win, but I like the debate, today's debate, and it was the only debate because Varandas declined the invite from Nuno Souza to have a one-on-one debate.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows.
Nuno Souza pulled up a record of the article that said from his 2018 campaign, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
He was just calling him on the ship from 2018. He was like literally reading his 2018 template. That was a good moment for him.
From record.
Yeah. He had like 4 things. He's like, and you said this, and you said it's like, all this shit. Voting nucleus, voting, one-on-one debates,
I think
second round elections if you don't get the majority. Just a lot of shit that just never got an app.
I'll tell you the truth.
Promise.
What I would like to see is I would love to see if we could do a swap, like Varandas for Nuno Souza, and also welcome Inácio, and keep the remaining of the administration. I would go for that. Seriously, I mean, the administration of Varane is not so bad.
I don't know if they have enough leverage.
Varane is the bad apple. I mean, as a president,
I don't like the
really
president.
sucks.
I'm not really a fan of the communications guy. Not really a fan of the finances guy.
No, I like the communication guy.
I don't hate his new mesa. I don't hate his new mesa d'assemblage at all yet because I don't know what he's up to
okay.
yet.
Yeah,
I was
he's
going to
gone.
ask, have they? Because so Rogério Alves is gone.
Gone.
Has Varandas named the replacement?
No, he didn't even explain why he left.
Oh, he has?
Well, he didn't announce
but
it.
he has a new guy on his. He has a new list out. Like his list is finalized. There is a.
Well, his list was never displayed to the Sportingistas. He never displayed his list. A few folks left, and Nuno Souza called him out. He said Albuquerque left. He didn't explain that.
He bare bones pamphlet, no campaign, no events, no nuclear visits. Not updating his
nada.
He's just trying to just coast. If he could have not gotten out of tonight, he would have, All right. Finally, we're gonna move on to the next topic. So the players at 50%, definitely a major topic. I guess the pro argument would be this is the reality of the club. This helps us get cheap players or players that we wouldn't be able to afford for cheaper. I would counter and say, if this is the reality of our club, why do we not see like tons of clubs everywhere doing this? Why does it really only seem like it's us? What do you guys make of it?
Man, Braga doesn't even do this for the most part. And even if they did do that, because they do it on some players, it's a joke because we're currently the champions of Portugal, Champions League looking guaranteed. Varandas, I think, also has a quote on here that I was reading on Abola just now saying that this year they've broken all records, or at least this quarter they've broken all records of hold on, I'll pull it up here somewhere. In terms
the squad
of
valuation, the squad valuation being the highest has ever been is not true.
Been before. No.
But I don't know. I haven't
he says this. Estamos em fevereiro e já batemos o recorde de sempre de receitas operacionais, excluindo vendas de jogadores. So why are we? What's this 50% bullshit then? At the same time,
no. What it means is receitas and all that stuff. So I don't doubt that because now finally the stadium
is open again.
Peanuts.
Yeah,
it's peanuts.
And merchandise is
the values we're talking about. We're like, okay, the merchandise sales went from 700K to 2 million. It's like, yeah, bro, that's a fat increase, but like, it's not enough that we're like the club is set now off of the difference. The 1.3 million, we're good. Like, yeah, it's good. We like things are up, boosted. Like I mean, did they get there by increasing tickets? Because maybe. It's definitely not from packing it out week in and week out. And beginning of the season, pandemic is an excuse, but also we have record operational revenue. He said both things, within an hour.
I mean, I get the making deals at 50% with certain players, but it can be the norm.
Of them?
It can be the norm for all of them. Yeah, that cannot happen. And I think that's the tendency now from the club selling it to Sporting is if you did it with Pot, if you did it with Edwards, if you did it with this player, now we want the same deal. Edwards is the one that
probably makes the most sense out of all of these because like Vitoria only has
English
50%.
tax.
Yeah.
And that too, yeah, so very true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tottenham retained the other 50%.
I mean, Family Gunnar had 100%, and we just chose to buy half. Also, there's the thing: when we do the 50%, we inflate it, right? So if Pot is valued at like when we bought him, we probably bought him for what he was valued at for 100%, right? He's probably valued at like 6-7, and we paid that for 50%. So it's not like we got some sick discount, and it's like, because his argument is this helps us access players that we wouldn't be able to access otherwise. Vinag, inflated. Like even Tabata, I would say, was definitely inflated.
Yeah. But
I think Nuno Santos is 50% too, if I'm not mistaken.
I
could
think
be wrong
he's like
there.
75.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a little bit more.
That's better.
Yeah,
That's better.
But the thing is with these. Okay, so let me throw you a curveball. So Pot, we bought him 50% of his pass, and then we bought him for $6 million, I think, from Millicom, right?
6.5. Yeah.
Okay. So last year he had the best performance of his entire career, and this is me thinking as a manager for money, financial guy, just finances.
Which is how you should always be thinking, because these guys, that's their job, basically. That's what they're.
So that's when we should have sold him. It was last year, because now his value is declining because he's not having a good performance. So he lost. He was at 30 million. Now his value is dropping. So there's a timing to sell players, and sometimes, and who's right on the money with this lately? Antonio Salvador de Braga. When he has to sell because he knows he's going to make a chunk of money. And his timing is perfect. That's the way it should be. I understand that the price of Sporting, so no, you have to get Pot for another year to be competitive, and I agree with that. But now we risk.
Amorim whispers that in his ear.
Yeah, but now we risk to lose a lot of money because we didn't sell him at the perfect timing. Like Upalini, you guys mentioned it. If he doesn't play, it will lose value, and then this summer, most likely he'll be sold. So we're gonna have to play him so he keeps his value and we sell him for a reasonable amount of money. And then we're gonna have to sell somebody this summer because we have to pay our bills. Sporting is not a club of the Premier League that if you play in the Champions League, the stadiums are still full and they have money up the wazoo from the TV.
They will be fine. The Verandas this is what I fear. The Verandas administration will be fine because they'll keep. They're already advanced 3 years of the TV contract. They'll keep advancing the rest of that until the end of their mandate. They'll find some other revenue streams. They'll sell some players. They'll strip down some assets, and then the person that comes after that will be just absolutely fucked. They'll have no money for the VMOX. They'll be so behind on everything. The TV contract will be another 4 more years and have no more money left. Like, that's what I truly fear. I don't think the fucking is coming right now, but it is coming in like 2026.
It's coming, yeah.
Yeah. I think me personally, to wrap it up from my end, I think personally, sooner or later, Sporting, and I'll throw even Benfica, Porto, and Guimarães and Braga, sooner or later, our clubs will just be like Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City. A rich billionaire guy wants to buy the club and will be forced to say yes because we'll be in so much debt that we'll have no choice.
Texas flirting with Porto now. They think it was just the tipping with him a few months ago.
I think the only countries that heavily believe in os sócios que são os donos do clube, it's still Portugal and Spain.
And Germany. And Germany too.
And Germany.
Well,
not
Leipzig.
really.
Leipzig have like a loophole.
Leverkusen.
No, okay, maybe I don't know about Leverkusen, but Leipzig, they have a loophole where it's still it's owned by fans. But these fans just so happen to be like fucking billionaire
Red Bull shareholders.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a loophole around that one. But for the most part, like Dortmund, it's fan owned, for example. Schalke, fan owned.
What about Bayern Munich?
Bayern Munich, I think, is also fan owned.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were trying to get the
rich
Qatar Airways.
For sure.
They were trying to get the Qatar Airways sponsorship cut. The fans were, because like in theory it's their club. It'd be like us, like the sausage is rising up. It's like it's our club, you know. Like we have the right to say this to them, you know.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not against that idea anyway. So if a billionaire wants to buy the club, and because billionaires, when they buy something, they want to make money. So,
but that's the problem. Is the only want to make.
I
money.
know.
That's my only issue.
I know.
Because it could be like Mike Ashley in Newcastle, where they come over, they bring some millions,
and then
Sporting doesn't perform, and then it's like
more examples
okay,
of fucking.
bye.
There's more fuckings than there are heroes from the billionaires.
Exactly.
I feel like the Sheikh Mansour for PSG or whatever, or he's a hero, I guess.
City, yeah.
But they're not all heroes. The QPR got fucked. Cardiff City got fucked. I'm just thinking of random English clubs that got fucked.
I don't think we'll ever pay our bills, to tell the truth.
Bro,
We'll
even look at Evan,
we'll just
like
keep-
one of the
we'll
richest
just keep-
owners.
Yeah. The
We'll
only
just
way
keep
to
kicking the can. Keep kicking
the only
can
way
down
to
the
play
road.
to pay our bills is like Fiorentina. You just get demoted, chapter 7, and then you change one letter, and you become Sporting Portugal.
Sporting with a Z.
Yeah, and then you become a brand new. I don't know.
So and last point on what you brought up, last point for me, and Steph, maybe you'll help me out with this because Receitas, is that revenue or is that sales? Because if that's
revenue.
Okay, that's all I ask. Because I'm assuming we're making more money in sales, but I'm also assuming our overhead is ridiculous. I mean, Nike kits, fucking, the stadium revamp, thank God. But then the pitch, which is an absolute disaster. I can only imagine how much money that was spent. Was that brought up on the debate?
It was.
Good.
And I feel like any money that was saved initially by switching we've paid more because you've had to fix it a ton of times.
So
definitely lost money and have a shit pitch.
Yeah. So the initial contractor, it took him a while to get it together, but then he got it together. When he got it together, that's when we replaced it. So
and they do the Benfica and the Porto pitch among others.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they were doing ours before this. So it's like they're obviously the most reputable.
Because it's a problem with the way the stadium was built, and it affects the pitch. So the old company found a good balance, and then we fucked it up when we switched.
I thought it was interesting because one of the things that I'm gonna go back to the transfer market thing because they're talking about transfer market, and so the first instance when he was called on it was Nuno Sousa called Varandas on it because they were talking about Varandas was saying the 50% allows us to access players that we wouldn't be able to and save money, and then Nuno Sousa's like you're inflating the values based on the transfer market valuations, etc. So it's like Varanda, and then the Varandas also claimed that the squad is the most valuable that it's ever been. It's close, but it's technically not the most valuable that the squad's ever been, and that's based on transfer market valuations that Varandas is basing that off of. That's what his claim. So it's like he's trying to take credit for transfer market valuations, but then he's also dismissing it when it's his valuations for 50%. So it's like, are you doing transfer market or are you not doing it? Because you're saying both, So
right.
Anytime transfer market gets a shout out, hell yeah. What do you guys think of the big announcement of Nuno Sousa saying that Agostinho Inácio is one of his advisors? Anything?
I like that, but to tell the truth, when I think about Inácio, I think of him as a great player and coach, but I don't think he has the enough tools in his toolbox to be a great director. That's a totally different platform and ball game, and I don't think he's good enough for that. To tell the truth,
I only partially disagree, but I can't remember what his role was under Bruno de Carvalho. That's my only thing, because from what I remember, he did do a good job under Bruno, and then once Jorge Jesus came in, he left because Jorge Jesus preferred to work with Otávio. And then we all know how that history played out. Yeah. So, I mean, it's only good because, Inácio, a club legend, so it's always easier. It's like when, what's his name, came out with Peter Schmeichel last election. He's dead now. What's his name now? Not dead. I'm kidding, but Benedito. When Benedito came out with Peter Schmeichel, it's a name. It's a club legend.
I'm surprised no one did any move like that where they're like, because no one wants to go against Amorim. But I'm surprised no one didn't. I guess I guess Nuno
I think
Sousa
it's
has the João Rocha advisor in as his, I think, mag. Is it the older guy? So I guess that's kind of like a splash-ish. But yeah, no one's promising Ranieri or
as they shouldn't though. Like you're an idiot if you come on here saying like Mourinho is gone and I'm getting
or you're gonna bring Thierry Henry as the sporting
no
or something like abstract, but like that.
The other two they said they would keep Mourinho. That's smart to say that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Varandas, didn't like talking about the pre-Amorim era, as he wouldn't, and honestly, a lot of Sauciers are obviously think more about the things that happened more recently. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame him, but
what are you doing for me now, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Matheus Nunes, though, that was one of his best signings for 1 million euros.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's not that many. There's a lot more not great signings than there are good signings, and even the good signings are not on that favorable deals to the club, which is the other thing. So how many great players has he signed?
No, I don't agree with that. No. We have good signings as far as performance-wise. We don't have good signings as financially.
This season. Yes, that's what he means.
Yeah, this season, yes. Yeah, I agree.
The other 2 seasons where they were.
No, it was.
There's literally nothing, dude. There's
nothing. Yeah. I agree. Chris.
Bunch of fucking Dumbias in Eduardo.
The thing is, too, is like even the sales have been like our biggest sales. Okay, Nuno Mendes so far as this administration's, right? Bruno Fernandes. Whether we think we want to, I mean, I could debate whether it was a good deal or not, seeing as right now he's a captain of probably at this moment, the second biggest club in England in terms of fans and all of that. But that wasn't his purchase. Wendell wasn't his purchase. Rafinha, another sale that we can even critique, wasn't his purchase. We go into, again, the sales. Okay,
that summer, that year, Sporting had the record number of sales. It was like 170 million or something.
And how many of them were his signings?
He stripped it down. Yeah, he stripped it down for sure. And we're still so fucked on. We still owe so many people money. Yep. We owe so many agents money from all those deals. In theory, he got money from some of the rescinded players, but so much of that was just lost, and the valuations were low. And there's at the end of the day, probably 8 mil came in for Patricio. Just
exactly. And there's a tweet about that our boy Matt Paiva put out in terms of how quick people are to critique the Vinagre deal, but aren't quick to sort of give Varandas praise in terms of the purchase, which is a valid argument, I think. It's there's not more good purchases than there are bad purchases, If anything, they're even at this point because the last year and a half, 2 years have been so
pretty much. Yeah.
So agree. That's another thing with Varandas, The only good thing with Varandas I can say, or his administration, is maybe they're finally getting their shit together because recently they're having good sales. Verdict's still out with
Vinag. Verdict's point about Amorim at least. Obviously Varandas likes to lean on Amorim for a lot of his success. And obviously, we can credit Amorim with a lot of it. But Nuno Sousa is Amorim is the communications director. He's the first team coach. He's the scouting director. He's eventually going to get burned out from being all of those positions for years on end. And it's actually not a long-term solution to just keep doing that, to be honest. I think it's a fair point.
I think it's a trust issue. I don't think Amorim trusts anybody else, so he has to make the decisions himself. Yeah, our scouting department is we've gotten 2 big
Miguel
signings.
Braga doesn't do him any favors helping him
no,
out.
No, Miguel Braga he does a pretty good job in giving it back to Porto and Benfica. That's all.
Yeah, once every 2 months he could just.
No, it's every Monday. No programa Raio X.
Oh, he's on a show. What show is he on?
Raio X.
What channel is that? Is that Sport TV or something?
Sporting TV, yeah.
Oh, it's Sporting TV.
It's similar. Remember that older guy that used to go on? It's like a similar show.
Okay.
Fuck, I'm forgetting his name. The older guy, man. Oh, anyways, not important.
I don't really watch Sporting TV's non-live programming. I'll be honest.
No, but this was like a very famous like under the BDC administration. Hold on, I'll pull it up. But anyways, continue.
No, but I'm pretty much done with that. We could talk about any final thoughts we might have.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, want to make percentage predictions?
Yeah.
I guess we can
like that.
lament our. I'm assuming everyone on the screen is associated with Quotas India. All of us live in North America, and none of us will most likely be voting. Absolute mockery of like the system, the alleged democracy that's going on. It's Sporting Clube de Lisboa. They can talk about proposals. No one ever does anything. And if someone were to come along and change that, it would be a very welcome change. And
To tell you the truth, to Varanda's defense, he wanted the e-voting, but everyone fought him on that. Everyone says it's not.
I don't understand how you can be opposed to that. For the AGs, like you get so few turnout that they could just ram through these measures. Like everyone should be voting, and it would give reason for more people to be.
If you look at Twitter, if you look at Facebook, and you look at the debates going on between Sportingistas, this one it's only including Sportingistas. The debate it's stuff that I can't believe. They basically say it's not secure. Anyone can hack into it. And then my response to them is like this: how do you do your banking? Isn't it online? Don't you do everything with your debit cards and credit cards? So it already exists. So I'm pretty sure we could arrange a third.
Some countries, small countries, do their entire parliamentary elections online. Okay,
but be careful. As soon as you say that, but
Estonia, we're gonna get less voters than that. I feel like
Chris,
and Estonia's not that big.
As soon as you say that, somebody on Twitter, an expert in the field, will say, "But this happened, and Estonia election, some hacker, this and this and that." But in the meantime, we are doing it every single day. We buy tickets online for whatever game or event. We do our banking online, and
don't even think about it. You don't even think about it at this point.
We could do it. The thing is,
it auto-populates into the thing because it's saved already. You know.
Yeah. In Portugal, they just don't want to do it. They're very traditional with certain things, and that's another thing. They're very traditional because Benfica did it.
We've got to get past that. We've got to expand the nucleus at the bare minimum. How are we still just talking about that?
No, listen, Benfica.
And then we need to expand to everyone outside of
sent a PIN number to Cynthia and her husband, and they were able to vote online with a PIN number. So instead of sending a goddamn letter from Portugal to me, just send me a PIN number so I can vote online. Because that's how Benfica did it. If Benfica, it's like 2 miles away from Sporting Club,
they don't also win any awards for democratic practices over the past 10 years either. Like, there's not some upstanding citizen we're comparing ourselves to.
Exactly.
Literal thieves we're comparing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look, David Paredes got a good point. They take our money on the monthly basis online. So telling us that we can vote online, it's a stupid argument from Sportingistas that they think they're smarter than all of us, that we live outside of the country. Sometimes you just want to call us immigrants.
If you live in the Algarve and you're a socio and you go to Lisboa 2 times a year, believe it or not, you're basically in the same situation as me.
No, not really. My father got his letter.
You're not going to drive up to Lisboa on a Tuesday night.
No, but the letter, you get the letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Okay, so once every 4 years you can vote. When you should be able to vote 3 times a year at the various things that are proposed.
Yeah, my father got his letter yesterday, and he already mailed it back. The thing is, the class and the capacity of them of insulting our intelligence by saying it's not a secure site to vote online. I'm like, are you kidding me? We do everything online.
Mailing isn't even secure either.
No,
that shit can get lost in the mail. How do you know it gets fucking?
I mean, if you want to talk about mailing, now we're going back to the American elections or something.
Whatchamacallit? And also the barcodes. Some of the ballots in paper having barcodes, some of them not.
Nah.
It's not like we have a flawless paper ballot system. I don't know. I feel like if you're a Sportingista and you're making arguments against voting, you're basically just either unintentionally or just
you you're really against it. I mean, Benfica. And I'm going to say it again. Benfica just created a great way of doing it. Yeah. Sending pin numbers worldwide to all the sausage, and from home, because Cynthia said it, and Mario. Why do I keep saying Cynthia and Mario? Because they're friends, and and they shared it to all of us on Twitter. And to me, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Okay, you don't want to do voting,
or you don't want to. How about the one in Newark? I drive 30 minutes and I go vote in Newark. Okay, I'll go do that. But that's
not
an option either. Nothing is an option.
That's
nothing. We need something.
Yeah, that would be something. But if I live in California, I'm not going to fly to.
But Steph, for you, they're one, and maybe you could go to Philly. Like, it wouldn't be that inconvenient.
No, I would do it.
There's like a bunch. I don't know.
That's you're just saying the minimum.
Someone's got to do something, and I just see nothing. And
but again,
people talk about it once every 4 years in passing. That's it.
If Benfica is doing it with a pin number, what can we?
Exactly.
We could call them and say our logistics department or whatever marketing department could call Benfica. I'm pretty sure they get along. We get along with them for the most part.
When they're sitting in the box together, what else are they fucking talking about?
Exactly.
No, seriously,
exactly.
When Sporting goes to lose or Benfica goes to Sporting in basketball, handball, they always have to talk to each other for logistics, and they work it out pretty good. So they could come up and share ideas about that. We just don't want to for some reason. Mm-hmm. I think that the biggest handicap at Sporting, it's us, the fans. We never support anything that's innovation. We always very traditional. Não, assim, não pode ser assim. Mudar o nome do estádio, por amor de Deus, são malucos. Ideias americanas.
I think in this case that this is more the administration, because Verender said he'd do it in 2018. Like you said, maybe there's oppositions to it, Chris, like you were saying, but this is to me this
the renumbering thing too. Obviously, he's not going to push the envelope on that because the way that the numbering system is set up and the number of votes benefits him. Why would he change it? The fewer access to voting at AGs and other things.
But he wanted to change it. But he wanted to change it.
I don't think he wanted to change
it. The thing is
that he wanted to change it, but
he wanted to change it.
If it doesn't benefit him, I don't understand why he'd want to do it.
He would have benefited him because old folks will still vote for him because ganhou campeonato. It's that simple.
I was even going to say, I don't understand why he doesn't want to implement it for the AGs, because that's even more access to, like you were saying, the guys in Algarve that are Verender supporters, for example, because I'm sure there's plenty all over Portugal. The little episode that he had a few months ago or late last year where he had to call in a second AG because he said that there's just a little group that come to the AG to harass him. That's the perfect time to implement any sort of e-voting so that you get your sausage to vote for you. Because at this point, you're at your highest.
Yeah, I mean, you have the right to complain about that if you're not doing anything to fix it or address it or anything.
It could have enforced this now in the era of COVID-19. So what happened to you, me, and Chris? With the COVID-19, we had to go to Teams or Zoom or whatever. So he could have done AGs on the Sporting TV, and then the voting could have been done on or e-voting. Depends on how you like.
Not even Sporting TV. Open link on the internet, live on YouTube, so anyone can watch it. You don't even need to have a TV subscription.
Okay,
that's what I thought about today. This debate should be on YouTube. Okay, but listen. Sporting TV,
Listen.
I understand though. Like you're paying for the channel.
But you could open the channel. I agree with you. But you okay, I agree. You could have done Sporting TV and YouTube at the same time.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
All together.
Fair.
You could have done it that way, but I don't think they equipped to think like that yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't think about Sportingistas outside Portugal. They don't really care about us.
Greater Lisbon, bro. It's not even. They don't even care about the ones in the north, dude.
Hey, like Dave Pereira said, they collect our dues online, and that's all they care about. Because if they really cared about us, they would create some innovative ways for us to participate in AGs and the voting. They never do. And we talk about this and talk. And one day we're going to be retired, about to die, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, man, we're gonna be the 2040 election. We're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
This is the year, man. We're gonna finally do iVoting.
Even our troops, when they overseas deployed, they allowed to vote.
We all know that the technology exists. We all know.
I hate the arguments from Sportinguistas from Portugal. The hackers. Put a murder there. Stop with that stuff, man. You do all your banking online, and now you're concerning about your vote to Sporting. There's no Chinese or Russian hacker that gives a shit about the Sporting election.
Maybe a Chinese billionaire who wants to buy the SAD, rig the vote so that something happens for their favor. I don't.
Yeah, they like said Bitcoin before you can vote online. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Anything else left on the debate, boys?
Oh, one last thing, ladies in Alvalade. What do you make of it? My make of it is Fernandez is trying to smear their position by saying, "Oh, it's not possible. They're just saying this is a cheap campaign stunt. The ladies can't play all their games here."
Oh,
that's not what they're saying. They're playing some games. They play none. They literally play none ever. So they should play sometimes, and that would be.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Under the Bruno Carvalho administration, they've played a game or two at Alvalade.
They probably have under the Fernandez administration as well.
Yeah, they did. Last time we lost against Benfica at home. That's how they won the championship. Yeah.
Maybe that's why we don't play there anymore.
Yeah. They gave us bad
luck.
Yeah. No,
he was using the grass as an excuse, but it's like, well, the grass is shitty, like also due to you, so
yeah, exactly.
Not that great of an excuse.
But I get it, and that I blame a little bit on, it's expensive to open the doors. When you open the doors to the stadium, you have to hire X amount of employees, activate them, and it gets expensive.
You don't have to staff the whole stadium. You have to staff like a third of it, you know.
Yeah, I guess, and then the second to blame is the Sportinguistas of Lisbon. They should support the females more. I mean, no Estádio Aurélio, it's not full all the time. It's not even close to being full. So when you open a stadium,
it's not that convenient, I imagine, to most people to get out there.
I guess
you just rip the Vasco da Gama, but I mean, if you're on the wrong side of Lisbon, it could be easily 50 and over an hour probably to get to Alcochete from some part.
But that's the excuse they're using, Chris. It's not convenient for them. And
what'd you make of Ricardo Oliveira saying he wants to construct a new sporting city in the style of American sports? I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about.
He was talking about it. I don't know.
What is an American sports city? We're Americans. What is he talking about?
I had no clue. I thought he was talking about a building with different floors and everyone has their own floor. I was really confused. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, that makes two of us.
I'm in favor of the females playing in the main stadium for a few games and see how the fans respond to it. If we have like an average of 5,000 fans per game, I would say yes, do it all the time.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, but if it's less than that, then it's kind of you're talking about money now. Can we manage to pay all the salaries of the staffing that has to open the stadium, even if it's just a third? Then I would be okay with that. And then we have to go back to the same contractor that was taking care of the pitch, because this one sucks.
Yeah.
But there's not too many A teams letting their females play in their stadium. There's maybe one or two worldwide.
That was something that he said. He said like PSG, Real Madrid, etc.
Yeah.
But I would respond to that. Like the Real Madrid stadium is like, that stadium is nicer than a lot of the teams in the Portuguese First Division that aren't that don't have Euro stadiums, right? That Real Madrid B stadium. That's probably like the fifth nicest stadium in Portugal, right? So, Estádio Aurélio Pereira is not that, right? So, I don't think that's exactly an equal comparison, to be honest.
It's just a few games. Nothing. You're not asking for a whole season there, and it makes it special. It makes it profitable. Don't oversaturate it for sure, but I don't see why not. I don't see the big deal behind it.
Well, Richard Neves, he mentioned it would be like Seattle, where all the arenas.
Philadelphia has it too. Philadelphia has it too. Kind of.
I know, but
Sporting kind of has that though.
But where are you going to build the academy?
That's what I'm saying. You're most likely going to be putting it. You're going to be putting it all in the outskirts rather than all in the city.
Around the stadium.
There's less land,
So next to the stadium, there's a little bit of space, but that's good enough.
Sold. They sold that.
Yeah.
They sold it. It's gonna be a fucking apartment, man.
That's good enough for a parking lot.
The ship sailed.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. There's no land in Lisbon to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there is, but I don't think so. To the size of the academy, our academy is huge. It's big.
They got like 10 fields at this point, probably 8 to 12 fields, probably.
And I mean, it's
the
nice
living quarters, the gym, like,
and it's nice and quiet, away from all the confusion.
It's
in a way, I like
because I actually read an article like a month or two ago. Maybe it was during the Benfica elections, which was, I guess, like in the recent history. They were talking about moving Benfica Academy out of Seixal into Lisbon proper too. So I wonder what is spurring this.
Rui Costa mentioned that for Benfica.
Yeah, so I feel like their Sporting's obviously not driving this conversation. It's obviously like, is it like
Bruno Carvalho said the same thing.
He said it too? Okay,
yes.
So I'll say it kind of.
Yeah, Bruno Carvalho said it would be more beneficial for Sporting if the academy was also in Lisbon.
It just doesn't seem feasible, especially like right there.
Not anymore, because now you already spent the money on the academy. So what are you going to do? Sell it to Estoril? They don't have the money to buy it.
Who the fuck are you going to sell that to? You're not going to sell it to anybody.
I also don't see a lot of clubs even doing it. Like, I think about the English clubs. It's like Arsenal don't exactly train in London, Tottenham the same.
It's because you need a kind of a bigger space. And
United aren't at Manchester. They're like closer to Leeds, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to be away from the confusion and have your peace of mind.
Of course, that's the training center, man. It's only supposed to be for training, working hard and shit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing I could think of is maybe if it makes it easier for the kids to like sort of live in Lisbon rather than in Alcochete. But then even that, I think,
they have the
problems
dorms and the cafeteria. It's supposed to be,
exactly.
Like you can come from any background. You could just live here, and we'll take care
exactly.
of it.
But I'm even thinking like it might even be more of a problem because bigger city, more confusões. Yeah. We already have Bruno. What's his name? Bruno Tavares, is it? Yeah. Shooting himself in the leg, and he's living in bumfuck, Alcochete. Imagine if he lived in Lisbon. You know what I mean?
Alcochete gangsters.
Well, he plays for Farense now.
I'm surprised he still plays.
Bruno Paz.
No, not Bruno Paz. Not Bruno Paz. It's
Bruno Tavares. He's on loan at Varzim. He's on
Varzim, exactly.
Okay. Bruno Paz is having a phenomenal season at Farense. He's doing real well. Box-to-box midfielder, and he's killing it apparently.
Pulling a replacement. Saying it now.
Yeah, I know.
He had a spot. He had a spot before his ACL tear. Poor guy, but.
Yeah, he did.
All right, I guess that's it with the debate and all that. Good shit, boys.
I'm glad. To be honest, I'm glad. I mean, I don't expect it to change the tide of anything, but
no, too late now. Too late.
The highest ranking official elected should be facing things like that. Oh, that was another thing that it says. He's going to have like a panel once a year to talk about ideas with sauces and shit. Like,
no, he doesn't. And now the one thing I'll bring this one, the last thing, because I know we have to wrap it up. I hate it when we go over 1:30. But at the same time, I like it. The one thing that Ninsoza mentioned was that I'm drawing a blank now.
About the panel, about adjusting the fans?
Oh, yes, thank you. About the clocks. Verenda said, I'm going to reunite the Portuguese. So when is he planning on doing that?
Yeah.
In 2050? The thing is, if you want to reunite the fans, you have to make peace with the clocks. You have to. They're a very important piece of the puzzle in the Portuguese culture. Either you like it or not. It's not like in America. America, there's no clocks. It's just fans that go together.
It's not even just clocks. It's every like, it's sauciers.
opposition.
It's non-families of means, basically.
Yes, like he could start. He could start like
His entire thing
fulfilling.
is for that.
He could start fulfilling his promise that he would re-allow Bruno Carvalho become a sócio, because that's taped, that's recorded, and we have it all online. He said, "Eu, se ganhar a presidência de Sporting, vou restituir o Bruno
They didn't
Carvalho
talk
como
about that
sócio."
at all. That didn't make the debate, right?
No.
Reinstituting socios wasn't talked about, right? I thought that would actually be talked
He's
about.
mentioned
That
it
was something
before
that
in the
Nuno
past.
Sousa had. Nuno Sousa has gotten some kind of like hit pieces about him about that.
Nuno
There was an
Sousa
op-ed in
basically.
Record today. There was an op-ed in Record today hitting him about that.
About
Yeah,
losing Watsville too.
Yeah,
no,
but it was
Nuno
the article was
Sousa,
only talking about the Bruno Carvalho part.
he made the point that he's not doing a good job for Uniting Sporting, and that's the truth. I think he holds too many grudges, and as a president, you can be that small, like a tiny little bit grumpy old man, like holding grudges on Bruno Carvalho, holding grudges on
30% of the
Inácio.
socios with 70% of the vote.
At this point, Varandas
That's all you need.
can
30%.
eat like Varandas has won technically this part. You know what I mean? Like he's made Bruno Carvalho was never a champion with Sporting. Varandas has. He has European titles, 2 European titles under him when it comes to futsal, at least. Bruno Carvalho hasn't.
Okay,
he came close, but he hasn't.
Goal ball.
Patins, of course.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying.
Bruno has the goal ball, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think he's got 2 actually.
But from the outside looking in, or even from the inside looking out, to many perspectives, Varandas just won this battle. Yeah. So what are you holding on Steph's point? What are you holding the grudge for? Why are you thinking it's weird? Why are you still like being this small about it when you can actually be like the bigger man? You can if Varandas wanted to, if this was really his nemesis, you can make him be this big. Especially now, he got kicked out of fucking Big Brother.
Yeah,
for some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like.
It could be a shiny moment, a moment of glory for Varandas if one day he woke up and said, "You know what? I have a genius idea. I'm gonna welcome Bruno Carvalho back and make peace with the clocks." Do you know how many Portuguese will be like, "Wow, wow"?
But even to me, at this point, I'm not even asking for the Bruno Carvalho acceptance back. But make the peace with the clocks, because Steph, Christian, you brought up a point maybe 2 weeks ago about the Carthage that I think is perfect. I'm not against it. I seen a funny tweet this weekend that was like WWE came to Avalon, which is fucking hilarious. But it's weird how certain sections can have these fucking homemade Bristol boards, but an actual planned out fucking tifos can no longer enter the stadium. It's ridiculous. It takes the magic away from Avalaz. As beautiful as Umun Sabke is, imagine Umun Sabke with the tifos again. It's next level, man.
By the way, I gotta interject. Who is the artist of the original artist of that song?
Frank Sinatra? No.
Is it Sinatra, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So in the backstage this week, there was a Sinatra song. And it got copyright striked, and they had to re-upload it with a new song. The entire Mundu Sabke is a rip of a Sinatra song. So I just thought that was just hilarious.
But
like,
seeing it as a parody, like,
do you even know, dude? You're mad about this? We do this every game, bro.
But they've had so many. Side note: they've had so many backstages with music. They had fucking Kanye West Power, and it never got.
I know. It's just how we talked about like how has this never happened? Like,
and even the one against City. I don't know if you guys have access to it. I don't think you can. You don't, because I seen Nuno Gabriel tweet about it. Because I also don't have access to it. I had to get a VPN and put my location onto Portugal just to watch that video. And I'm assuming it's because of the music playing in the background. Anyways, boys, final notes, and then we'll quickly touch Maritimo. Steph, take it away.
Okay, so I'll go first. Track and field, our ladies became champions of Portugal in indoor track and field. So congratulations. It's not a surprise. They've been dominating for the last 12 years. On the men's side, we finished second, and Benfica dominates in that front. So it's kind of funny. It's a flip-flop. But congratulations to our ladies. In basketball, we made history for Portugal. We reached the quarterfinals of the FIBA, the only club so far from Portugal. So that's a big one. Porto is out, Benfica is out as well. So congratulations to our basketball team.
We have to travel to Russia. Our game's going to be fucked, probably.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that now.
You know why? It's going to be, you better lose or you know what's up.
Actually, it might help us because we'll probably have to play their home leg at a neutral venue. So,
do we have any Ukrainians in our team?
Yeah, we're playing them in UEFA Youth League. We're supposed to play in Kiev, which I guess
No.
is safe,
In our basketball team.
No,
I
not
don't
basketball.
think so. No.
But remember that? I think she was judo. What's her name? Blonde girl. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my
Daria
God, she's Ukrainian.
Bilodod.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still follow her on Twitter.
Me,
So do
I
I.
follow her on Instagram, bro. You're slacking. Instagram's where it's at, bro.
No, I mean, once she became a sporting athlete, I followed her, and I never stopped. Handball, we won against a team from Hungary, 34-26 at home, and we clinched to the third place. We still have 2 games left. The next game will be away at the AEK Greece. If we win against them, we'll clinch. If not, then we have to win the final game at home against Nîmes of France, which is the best team of the group. And typical.
But they might already be through, so they might be resting. Is the only thing potentially.
Yeah, and maybe they'll play with the B team. Typical.
I think they're already through right now, so they're definitely through. To be honest.
Yeah, they got 12 points. We have 9, and then the second team has 11. And,
also.
Yeah. And then last but not least, for my final notes, will be the volleyball team won today against Caldas da Rainha 3-0, and we clinched the final 4 of the Portuguese Cup final. So that's all I have, folks.
Chris, take it away, dude.
Steph had the European and the basketball handball. So U23s played today. They beat Firenze 2-1, and at the weekend they drew against Guimarães. U24s 4 points from 2 games. That's some of their best form recently. So take that.
Talking about that, I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't mean to, but Varandas did explain because Nuno Souza's asked him, and I'm bringing this up because it's actually very interesting. His explanation was okay. Nuno Souza said, "What's going on with the formação? We've been losing all the time," and then he explained it that the sub 23, the average of players playing in sub 23 is like 19. And in the B team, it's like 21, and in the juniors, it's like 18. In the juveniles, it's like 16. So we kind of skipping a whole season, a whole year to try to speed up the growing of our athletes to supply to the 18. That's what he was saying, Varandas. But as Nuno Souza and Oliveira brought up a good point. At the same time, we're losing the mentality of the winning mentality and becoming champions. Yeah, so that was a good thing.
I mean, Benfica B is at the top of the second division, and we're at the bottom of the third division. So,
no, I'm more concerned about the under 19, under 17, and 15, which we became champion of those leagues a lot of times, and now we're not winning it because of this new concept. It's better to focus on the player than to focus on winning championships in those.
Here's the reality of the situation, in my opinion. Fuck the U23 team. It was only created because the B team got relegated, and they were just like, we don't want to play in this level anymore, because it was before the Liga 3 existed, and it was Campeonato de Portugal, and it was kind of more shithousery. So like, oh yeah, we'll just create this new team, and we'll convince this new league to start. But I think it's kind of pointless. I think you should focus on the B team, especially the B team is only bad. Like the B team cannot drop to Campeonato de Portugal again. It has to stay in Liga 3, and it potentially has to fight to get to Liga 2. So fuck Liga.
I like the B team better because it's more competitive. They playing against some some mean,
Professional. They're playing
professionals, yeah.
professionals.
Yeah,
Experienced
You're on the
Yes,
U23
yes,
team
yes.
is because you're not good enough to be on the B team of
Yeah,
your respective
yeah,
club.
yeah. I think
Estoril
the
U23, like they won the league, but it's like,
yeah.
like who's on this team? It's like the I don't know. It just seems insignificant.
The
especially on the older
U23 is
side.
it's like a C team. They made up this league, and
Yeah.
it's not paying the dividends. It's not.
No, especially since we're like, he did mention, he's like, we have a lot of young players in the first team. That's good. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely just like they have signed some players. Like they signed
it's not
for
competitive.
example, from the Lake Shoreys and stuff for like 500K, 750K. Like they have made signings for the B team and stuff, but yeah, again, if you're popping at that level, you probably won't be there for that long. Also, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Quickly talk about preview against Maritimo Spartans going to Madeira this weekend. Always a tough game. I'll start off with my prediction. I'm going to say a tough 2-0 win. I think we'll finally see Slimani hit the back of the net. And they go by Quach from a corner. Steph?
Well, just to give you a perspective, the last 5 games against Maritime for the Portuguese Championship, it's been a victory, a loss, and 3 ties.
There you go.
So at the Barreira, so it's been tough. So I'm gonna go with the 2-0 because Maritime at home, they've been losing all their games, and for some reason they win the games away. So I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping they keep with the same streak, and we 2-0 to Sporting. Goals the Slimani and Paulinho.
I'll look up the weather right now, Chris. But go ahead, take it away.
Maritime was actually not bad this season, especially compared to like the last couple seasons where they have been like flirting with relegation. I feel like they're up in 8th. They're closer to like they're 2 points off Estoril Guimarães. I don't think anyone's getting in top 5 because of Gil Vicente, but I mean they're in like that 6th place battle, which could be a conference league spot depending on how the test with Portugal pans out. So I think that it's actually going to be pretty tough, to be honest.
Let me quickly add Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Or is it a game Saturday or Sunday? It's Saturday, right?
It's Saturday.
1 p.m.
All rain.
Rain? Oh no. 1-0 shithousery. Nacional last season, just a mud pit.
Yeah. Iconic.
We got a result. The 2021 Sporting team just got a result just every time, no matter what. Just 1 goal result every time.
Really quick. So really quick. I mean, let's not spend too time on this topic, but what about the Porto game?
Maybe started stuff.
Oh,
we're still waiting on Matheus Reis and Tabata's suspension. Like,
no. I'm talking about Moreirense Porto.
Oh, the PK incident.
Yeah,
a joke. These guys went back in time just to find out a fucking foul out of nowhere. I don't see the foul on Fabio Cardoso.
No, how do you
consistent call? Even if
how do you want the guy? How do you want the guy to stop running? You just want to
one of the angles.
Cardoso's arm is going like. Sorry, go.
I don't even know if he touches him. It's not even clear for me.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even think he touches him, 1. And 2, Cardoso's going like this, trying to stop him. So if there is contact, tell Cardoso to stop putting his fucking arm out.
And that's one thing, because he could have missed the PK. He could have missed the PK. And then number 2, in the same play, Uribe wouldn't even be shown a yellow card, the second yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I'm gonna see something else. In the same play, Udio Costa grabs the ball, falls on the ground, and he rolls on top of the striker. So then that's a PK. Then if they say the winger fouled Cardoso when he was running and in a non-intentional way touched his foot, So then Diogo Costa committed penalty when he rolled on top of the striker. Não pode haver dois pesos e duas medidas. That's the Portuguese league for you. The Portuguese
They
league
always have a tough time at Modalidades. I said that on the last pod. They had a tough time, but yeah, they got.
That's their bogey team.
And the last player I'll
they
talk
didn't even
about,
get their bogey.
it's Steve Vitória. He's the captain of Modalidades. Why can he not talk to the referee as a captain? Why?
I don't get that. He's a fucking Canadian. That's why.
Yeah.
Woodbridge own.
It's embarrassing, bro.
It is embarrassing. It's a joke.
I mean,
it's a joke.
There's no joke. There's no joke to a captain. He was questioning him. Why you did you call the foul? It was not even a foul. He was questioning him about that. E mostrou-lhe cartão amarelo.
Bullshit.
Já podem incomodar os faixas campeões, o Porto. Já são campeões.
Yeah, I agree. Cá estaremos.
The Portuguese league is disgusting, and I only watch it because, my whole family is Portuguese, and that's the way I was brought up. But it's disgusting. It turns me off when it's like that. Yeah.
Agreed.
So Ruben Amorim made a note of this. The next 3 weeks, including last week, Sporting plays before Porto. So if they're going to drop points,
hopefully it's not.
We have to keep winning and then put the pressure on them playing after us. So this is the first week. Did they feel a little pressure and they tremored a little bit? Have to keep winning so that next 2 weeks for sure, because I feel like those are some of our better odds of getting them to drop points.
I wish they play Benfica next week. I wish they play Benfica next week.
If we play first and drop points, we're just fomos.
It's fun. We're done.
Yeah.
Anyways, cá estaremos para o ano outra vez. Campeonato da Mentira, Campeonato Português. Guys, follow us on Twitter at the Big Chris for Chris. Follow Sam, who couldn't make it today. Sam Fonseca. Steph's right there. I'm right here. But more importantly, the Twitter page, as always. Been a pleasure talking to the both of you and to the chat. Viva Sporting, and let's hope for a big win on Saturday. Viva Sporting. Ciao.
Ciao.